The Charger drive about to get going.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example. Another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brissett. And he comes back with one complete. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On play action, Brissett. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Brissett.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Brissett again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Herbert. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Forced, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. On first down, Justin Herbert. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams?
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 36 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. McManus's point after is good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Play action now. Brissett. They'll roll him out right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it's now 35-14. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, right back to Hunt.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. There he goes, right side.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll run again with Hunt.
And he'll be close to a first down at the Charger 17.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Jamal Williams with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone and tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Rolling to his right.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
To throw, Brissett. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Herbert on first down now. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. Room here to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Kareem Hunt, 34 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick, and the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They're going to pass here with Herbert. He hits his target, Lockett. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Hunt will try going up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.